Tracy Reese also regrets getting her tattoo on a whim.
Well, I got the tattoo. I was 22 years old and I wasn't thinking. So now I'm 30. Everybody said once I was 30 I wouldn't like it, and it's true.
So, who are you going to call? Dr. Eric Bernstein to the rescue. He's been making the permanent impermanent for years.
The single most common thing I remove is somebody's name. Most people get their tattoos removed because a relationship has moved on. Other reasons are, it's like artwork. There are very few paintings that you're going to love your whole life.
Today, taking a tattoo off is almost as common as having one put on. First, Dr. Bernstein uses a needle to numb the skin. Next, a clear layer is placed on top to protect the epidermis from the laser. Before starting the removal process, everybody in the room must put on a pair of safety goggles. And then let the busting begin. The type of laser depends on the type of tattoo. Normally, 2 or 3 different lasers are used in the removal process. The numbing part makes it fairly painless, but it does pinch the pocketbook.
For a $73 tattoo, I've now spent $600 and it's not done yet.
Tattoo removal doesn't come cheap. In fact, multiple treatments can total a bill into the thousands of dollars depending on the size of the tattoo. The process is also time-consuming.
It's very hard to tell until we get going, but anywhere from 6 to 10, and that's for a multicolored tattoo. Amateur tattoos you can get rid of in 1 to 2, 3 treatments, But don't worry, we'll do it.
Tracy has already undergone 10 treatments and hopes to be done by the end of the summer. Shara is just beginning her treatments and anticipates visiting Dr. Bernstein for several more months. And for the rare few...
You could be talking years for some people, there's no question.
So what about brides-to-be who rush in 2 weeks before the wedding?
If they show up 4 weeks before the wedding, cover-up, makeup, that's about it. Cover blend, derma blend, that's about it. That's your only option then.
In the end, if you have the time and money, then what goes on can come off.
Area of the body, doesn't matter. We've removed tattoos from absolutely everywhere.
Everywhere except on Dr. Bernstein.
I have no tattoos. No, I've seen enough of this. I don't think I'm getting any either.
All right, so you heard him. He says he has no tattoos, but he knows a lot of people who do.
That's right. And here to tell us more about the removal process is Dr. Eric Bernstein. Dr. Bernstein, hi, welcome to your morning. Now, I'm in the minority here because out of everyone, these people here, I'm the only one with a tattoo.
And you have no regrets, Kat.
No regrets. I love mine, and as we were talking earlier, it's a personal thing. You either like them or you hate them. Very few people are,
Actually,
but you are on the fence
totally.
about them.
I don't dislike tattoos at all.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those people like Dr. Bernstein. My tastes change so quickly. There's nothing I think I could put on myself permanently that I'd be happy with. Because I'm always changing. And I think if I had, and I did go to a tattoo parlor about 15 years ago. And I think now, if I had gotten what I was originally thinking about getting, I don't think I'd be too happy with it right now.
Yeah, you got to choose something you like. But a lot of people, they change their minds. The common scenario, we were just talking about that.
Right. The most common thing I see is somebody's name. Girlfriend, boyfriend. And, we all change our paintings, we change our relationships, and
Yeah.
You change a relationship, and there it is, just staring at you, and staring at your significant other.
So how long does it take to remove one of these things? We were saying it's not an overnight thing.
It can take a long time, and typically in my office, people come in, how long have you had it? 20 years. When you want it off? Party Thursday.
Right.
Wedding next week. And it does take time, because the body really removes a tattoo. So if we say, 6 treatments, 6 to 10 treatments, if they're 2 months apart, that could be a year or more. Amateur tattoos, though, in the ink, done not professionally, those can be 1 or 2 treatments.
Is there any common ground in the people that come in and say, I want this off, aside from they have the name of somebody from a past relationship? But I'm talking about walks of life. Rich, poor, middle class, Who is it?
Every walk of life, everybody gets tattoos, especially now. It's become increasingly popular. My thought was, I'm going to be the coolest parent because, I'll let my kids have long hair. Well, we didn't really have a lot of tattoos, at least, as much as you see today. And that's what the kids like to do. Because it distinguishes them mostly from their parents. So it's everybody.
So when you get one removed, what is you were saying darker skin, it's hard to remove it
Darker skin can be a little harder, and having a tan or being in the sun is a definite no-no. If we can lighten the skin, because see, the laser sees the pigment in the tattoo. Tattoo is deep in the skin, underneath the surface. And the surface of the skin is where all our pigmentation is. So we don't want the laser to see that, because it's going to hurt what it sees. So there's ways, things we can use topically on the skin to lighten the skin and make it so the laser will not see the surface. And we do this all the time.
What is the sensation on the skin when they're getting the tattoo removed?
If you were not to be numb, most of my patients I numb them so they don't feel anything. Okay. We can also use a cream. There's a cream you can use to numb the skin. But if you don't do that, it feels a lot like getting a tattoo. That's what my patients tell me.
You have a super duper laser, one of only a few in America. The old way of doing it, wasn't there an old way of doing it which was greatly more painful?
Yes, there was the old way was with either a CO2 laser that kind of burns away the skin, or dermabrasion or salibrasion. They would use salt and kind of just scrape away the skin. The problem with that is it leaves tattoo behind and it makes an awful scar. The new lasers, which are based on a principle by one guy up in Boston, a guy named Rox Anderson, selectively target the tattoo pigment and remove it away so that the skin doesn't get harmed. And it's really amazing to watch, because you can see the laser just hitting the tattoo pigment but leaving the rest of the skin alone. But it's the body that takes away that tattoo pigment. So when I laser someone, it looks like it's disappearing, but it really takes 6 to 8 weeks to see the results.
Oh, and is the skin smooth afterwards?
Absolutely. Well, for the first few days after, it's like you can have a little roughness or even a little sore area. It's not painful, but like a scab almost sometimes. And then over the next 2 weeks, it just continues to heal, and it looks like normal skin.
Oh,
is there any location on the body where you can't remove a tattoo?
Not that I can think of. I've taken them off from absolutely everywhere, including the inside of the lip. You can't even imagine.
Oh, inside the lip? Now that would hurt.
Why would you bother? I mean, who's going to see that? Unless
There you go. You don't want anyone to see it. And
Guess a message for the dentist? I don't know.
yeah, and you were saying colors are harder to remove?
Certain colors are harder. White, it can be a little more difficult because white will turn black when you laser it. Once it turns black, you can then laser it away. And green can be a little bit difficult. You actually need multiple lasers, in my opinion, to really remove a tattoo well. And right now, luckily, I have pretty much there's 3 lasers you can use for tattoos, and right now I have them. And that's because certain colors respond better to different types of lasers.
So if any lesson can be learned from all this, make sure you absolutely will never have any regrets and you love what you're getting.
You got to think hard before you do it.
Definitely.
Right.
Yes,
Thanks,
you
Doc.
do.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming in, Dr. Bernstein. And if you have questions, you can contact Dr. Bernstein at 1-888-480-9099.
Where do the famous and soon-to-be famous singers and songwriters take to the stage? How about in Philadelphia for the WXPN Singer-Songwriter Weekend? Some of the event's past artists include Suzanne Vega, Sean Colvin, John Mayer, and Art Garfunkel. Joining us now from the WXPN stage where they're setting up for this weekend's event is our own Nicole Fox. Good morning, Nicole. Any tattoos by any chance?
Good morning. What did you ask me?
Do you have any tattoos?
I wasn't part of that segment. I refuse to answer the question.
Okay, fine. That's your prerogative.
Yes, the WXPN Singer-Songwriter Weekend. It is here, and you know what? It looks like Mother Nature is on our side so far. Let me introduce Michaela Mijoun. I haven't seen you for a year.
It's been a whole year since we did this. Thank you so much for having us on again.
Oh, we're having a great time here.
It's exciting.
When we first started talking about the segment, we named a couple of the past performers, Art Garfunkel, John Mayer, and this is bringing back a lot of memories for you because you've been there through it all.
Absolutely. This is the 11th annual Singer-Songwriter Weekend here at Penn's Landing, and it's a gathering of the tribes every summer in this beautiful setting. It's a chance to celebrate music and summer and also membership in XPN because we're a public radio station, member supported, and our member support accounts for all the great things we do.
Yeah, I guess when you think about WXPN, for some of our viewers who live a little bit further away from the Philadelphia area, it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is say the World Cafe and everyone pretty much knows.
And actually, people in other areas can listen to us online all the time at xpn.org because we stream our signal.
When we talk about some of the performers that play here, it doesn't matter what year it is, we named some of the biggest names.
Right.
As we just did, Suzanne Vega, John Mayer. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they were famous when they started playing here.
Absolutely.
You do get a lot of famous people, but this is also a place for people to really showcase
It's a proving ground, and that's a great point to make. We have a showcase of local and national artists, international artists, people who've made it and people who are on the way up. And some people who may not be heard anywhere else except on WXPN.
Okay, well, let's let our viewers have a little sampling of what they may hear this weekend or what they will hear this weekend. Hey, this is Michael McDermott. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Michael.
Hello. Now, you're going to play something for us from your new album, Ashes, right?
Ashes, right. A song called Everything I Got, which XPN's been very supportive of. I'm very grateful for that.
Speaking of XPN and support, I just wanted you to know that we got an email, Michael, from Dave Reedy, who was requesting anything on Michael McDermott's new CD, and Dave says, should win a Grammy. How does one go about getting a CD or song nominated for a Grammy?
Well, I couldn't agree with him more, actually, but I'm not really sure how one would go about doing that.
Well, you'll get him the information, I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Everything I Got.
Everything I Got, yeah.
From your new album,
yeah.
Ashes.
And we'll be playing tomorrow at 5:20 or something.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
That night, I couldn't believe what I heard. Was watching you walk down Broadway without even saying a word. But this ain't nothing new. We've been through this drill before. Smashing dishes in the kitchen, slamming that bedroom door. It's all the time we've been together. Most of that time was good.